Hello? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
No, he's muted permanently today.
Yes, he is.
I hate insurance companies.
Huh. Welcome to the club.
I'm telling you, I pay enough for this bullshit. I was supposed to have a stress test done on Monday, and they denied a stress test. Their reasoning is that it goes into a huge list of some bullshit. Imaging can be done when needed for the following reasons. Your findings of an ECG can make it hard to tell if your heart's getting enough supply. What the hell? Oh my god.
So, in other words, they don't care if you live or die.
And no, they absolutely do not. And they wanted me to do this because I was going to the gym.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one who is having some insurance issues. Um, I had my surgery yesterday for my nose. He told me that um, my workman's comp was giving him fits about it.
Jeez.
Yeah, it. I told him that doesn't surprise me in the least.
No, no. And my doctor will push back. So, but I'm not so sure that I'm even going to go through with it at this point because when I first started, I was like, okay, when you're lifting weights and you're trying to bulk up, so you're doing 5 reps to almost failure. The fifth one has to be almost failure. So, going from sitting on my ass to doing that, it was like, when I would lift, my face would go numb a little bit, kind of like you're hyperventilating. So I was like, okay, that's a little concerning, but it doesn't do that anymore near as much. So maybe I just had to get used to it. I don't know.
Okay, finally done sharing this all out.
What I have noticed, I go to do my hair and I'll be up like this, and it's like, the hell did these muscles come from? I haven't been doing it that long.
You'd be surprised where they come from.
I was like, Zach, I hope you don't have a problem with muscles. He goes, no, it's okay because I don't plan on stopping.
Well, you'd be surprised.
I mean, I can turn my wrist now, and all these, you can see all the lines, all the muscles.
Yeah, what when I look at mine every now and then. It's not when I do this. It's when I do this.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's
Twist.
hard to see, but everything really shapes up right here in this area.
Yep. When you twist.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess so.
yeah. It's more visible when I've got my elbow bent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine is, I bulk up more right here than anything else. And that's the part I don't want bulked up, but that's okay because if I have back muscle, then, it gets rid of the back fat.
And there you go. Swimming therapy would be good too.
Hey, Mimi, we go to the Greeley City thing here. Yeah. The rec center. There we go. Um, and they're only open certain hours, but I tell you what, it's warm, it's indoors, and you don't have to feel funny in a swimsuit like I did because it's nothing but old people in the morning, older than we are.
That's usually how it is.
Yep. And I still, I'll put the little skirt on with my swimsuit. It's like, no.
Yeah, I was really punishing myself yesterday before I had my surgery. I did insanity workouts, and oh,
Yeah.
talk about hard.
I tell you what, when you're first starting, it's like, oh my gosh. We'd go, because they open at 5 a.m. We were there when the doors opened. And he'd go upstairs and play racquetball. I would go down to the weight room. So we're not looking at each other, making fun of each other. So, and then we meet in the pool. It opens at 6. Well, when I first started, it was like, oh my God, an hour of this shit. I don't think I can do this.
Are you
And
going every day or once a week?
every day except Sunday. And we try to take like one day during the week off.
Okay.
But, they say that, going 3 to 4 times a week is good. But yeah, I do the weights. I'll work arms and legs all in one day, and then walk a mile on the treadmill on 3.1 incline, 3.5 incline, and 3.1 speed, and that takes about 15 minutes. So and then I'm ready to go to the pool.
Cool off. Basically, your shower right there.
Yeah, you have to shower before you go get in the pool.
Oh,
Then you get in the pool, and then you smell like chlorine. So you get in the shower and actually shower, get ready for the day. But that really gets you motivated for the day. You're already clean. You've had your workout. You're ready to go.
and now you're ready to sit down for 10 hours and do your work.
Yeah, Mimi, you do need to check it out. You get Social Security, right? If you do, it's free.
Oh,
It,
nice.
it's free. That's what Zach's is free. I have to be a little older before I can do silver sneakers to be free. In New Mexico,
So
45 years old. Yeah, 45 years old was senior citizen. You can join the senior citizen center
at 45,
at 45, and I was there. I mean, I
well,
joined
I'll be
it.
there next month.
Well, here you have to be 55.
Okay.
So I don't know. I guess each
But
state's different.
where is 45 senior citizen? I have never heard it that young before.
Yep, they do, and it's so cool because you can get in there with shit. They could outdo me. They were square dancing. Their crafts that they were doing. I mean, they were getting it.
Wow.
Here, the senior citizen center is right next to the rec center, and I don't see a lot of activity going on there really.
Well, everywhere in Indiana that I've seen, it's 50.
And
Uh,
50 would be fine. I can do that, but it's 55 here, and I'm like,
Well, where is it that it's 45?
New Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah, in Carlsbad, it was 45.
Ah, okay.
You didn't get, of course, the free meals and the senior citizens free meal stuff that they did, but you could join everything, all their activities, everything they were doing.
Well, what I'm looking forward to, and for 50, is I'll be eligible to bowl in the Indiana State Seniors tournaments.
Yeah, that's what I plan on doing next weekend is just going bowling, just to go.
Yeah, I had when I made my post earlier today about my surgery. One of the guys that I bowled with, he's like, "Man, we're waiting on you to come back. Yeah, we know you enjoy it. Oh, I want to come back, but I got to make sure that it makes sense for me to come back
Yeah,
because when I have my next surgery, then I'm going to be out for a while. I don't want to be doing this in and out.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but if I from if all goes the way that I think it's going to go, I'm going to have 2 more surgeries, and then if all goes well, I'm done.
That would be good.
That'd be very good.
Yeah, Saturday. we're going to out here on the side where we have the um, where the yard kind of is,
Uh,
not where the dogs run, but the other side. We we've decided that's going to be a garden. Okay, he's got allergies still. He's not
yeah,
feeling good.
he's waiting on new medicines to come in.
But we're going to rototill that Saturday. While he's rototilling that, I'm going to get on the roof and not on the roof, but the ladder, and we're going to clean out the gutters. I found out they have not been cleaned out in like 15 years. No wonder we flooded.
Wow.
There's probably leaves in there that have decayed from 10
From
years ago.
15 years ago.
Oh my gosh. There's probably a squirrel in there dead.
Yeah, there was a dead baby bird in Dad's driveway yesterday. Because I went to no 2 days ago. It was 2 days ago. I went over to his house for lunch. I was there for a couple of hours. Um, had to do some emergency, very impromptu home improvement work over there. While I was giving Angelia a bath, the shower head kind of exploded on me.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the rubber tube broke through, and the water came through the metal spiral thing that was around that rubber tube.
Oh gosh.
Blasted me real good.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah,
That's okay.
and this is after I had gotten done a week's worth of shopping for 3 hours. Right, I come over and I start screaming. Dad comes over and says, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" The shower head just exploded on me.
Oh.
And I showed him what it was. It's like, well, we got to replace it, don't we? Yeah, it's got to be done now.
Yeah, you're not going to take a shower. It's going to be a hose.
That,
Yeah.
that's what I had to do with Angelia. Used a little hose. So he went and got a new hose, and he got back right after I got done feeding her lunch. And then I worked the next 15 minutes getting that new hose put in. Now everything works fine. But in between that time, when Dad came home, he did not notice a little baby bird.
Oh.
As I was leaving to go home, it was there. Um, and I think it had been dead a while because when I picked it up with a piece of cardboard underneath it, I could already see the bones,
Yeah. Yeah.
and there was a bunch of ants all over it.
Ugh. God. Yeah, it's definitely that time of year. We're getting and I come home from Walmart last weekend and Zach goes, "Did you?" He sends me a picture because he went somewhere after I did. "Did you not notice this bird shit all over the truck?" I said, "No." He said, "It's right in your view." I said, "It wasn't there." And he said, "But it's already dried." I said, "I don't know what to tell you." So he comes back and of course he used the windshield wiper, got it off, comes back and goes back out a couple hours later and it's all down the truck and on the truck. I said, "See, it's here. It's not at Walmart. It's here."
Well, in this heat, things dry quick.
Oh, there's no heat here.
No?
Today's high was 56.
Oh my.
Yeah, there's no heat right now. Now, that's going to change real soon. We're going to till up that garden and I'm going to go ahead and put out like the tomatoes, the cucumbers. We're going to go ahead and plant the carrots in the ground. We got seeds. We're going to see if we can make it work. I've already started the pumpkins. I can't put them out until the end of the month. But,
Why is it?
and beans. We got three different kinds of beans. They're black. They're not black. They're purple looking. And then the wax beans and green beans, two different kinds of green beans, all in one bush. So we're going to put those out and see what happens. Cucumbers, I'm going to do a trellis and let them just climb that trellis, because last year I had them on the fence and they went through the fence and in the neighbor's yard. So
Oh wow.
I'm not trying to give them away. Let me tell you about, neighbors. They're selling their house next door.
The one the one with the yard that I like.
No, the other one.
So the one that I'm facing from that bedroom.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, those people left when immigration started coming in, when ICE came in. Hey, Michael.
You know what?
So, when this first started, they were gone, like overnight gone. And they were so sweet. These people were amazingly sweet. And all of a sudden we look out there and people keep coming and looking at the house, coming and looking at the house. And I'm like, shit. And I guess they sold it. So now they have workers over here. I'm seeing the whole house being gutted. There's a porta potty in the backyard and the whole house is gutted. I'm like, okay.
Boy.
Well, they bring in one of those great big truck sized dumpsters and leave it. Construction dumpster. They left it there. Didn't think anything about it. Filled it up, left it. Come back. And Dad goes outside and goes, He walks back in. Zach goes outside. They've hit the fence. They have tore the chain link off the fence. And Zach's calling. He's like, whatever construction company. And they bent the pole. Like the top pole that connects the chain link. Guy says, we didn't do it.
Take a look here. Chris said he'll buy it.
I wish you would.
He's actually in the market looking for a new home.
I wish you would. Have you seen Greeley's prices though, Chris? Holy shit. So they're saying, okay, yeah, we didn't do it. Zach starts sending him pictures. He said, do you think we tied something and pulled it into our yard? No, it's right where your stuff's sitting. He goes, oh, okay. We'll fix it as soon as we're done with the house. We'll tie it back up. I said, he will not fucking tie it back up. He will replace that bent pole and he will fix that chain link the way it was when he got here. No. Absolutely not. Chain link is expensive.
And not easy to deal with.
No, absolutely not. I'll tie it back up. No, you will not, to a bent pole. No, sir. We're talking about the chain link fence out there that they decided to hit, and we'll tie it back up.
Oh, no, we didn't do that.
No, we tied our truck, to that thing and just pulled it, and it just happened to fall in the yard.
Yeah, our traffic all the time goes through that giant tree stump in our yard.
Is it a group of guys that buys and flips houses?
I don't know. The way it looked, the people were coming and looking at it. But the way it looks, either somebody bought it, kick his ass. Either somebody bought it and had somebody come in and renovate it, or somebody is flipping it, bought it to flip it.
Well, it could be that guy who's owned it, who is a Sandoval, is just having it repaired because those other guys gutted it out. Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, he sold it because a bunch of people were coming, or unless they were bidding on the job, is why they were.
Could be, very well.
Yeah, I really. Mom said that he sold it. He no longer owns it, but I don't know when she's talked to anybody.
Well, if you see a for sale sign, let Chris know.
I'd love to have him as a neighbor. That'd be fun.
I'm just trying to think of all the things that my mom said that have been so right on. Or, I mean...
Yeah.
Said F5 him.
He's not happy right now at all.
Because,
no, because we make the house payment, right?
Right.
So we went to, went to call the mortgage company and say, hey, this is, you need to take this out this day. And they're like, you don't know anything for this month. Excuse me? Mortgage don't stop. What are you talking about? I don't know what Mom's done. I really don't. But no, this is not how this works. Absolutely flippin' not. What's up?
The hole punch is under here.
Okay, where's it at? I'll get it.
Every month without fail.
Under what?
Under here.
In the bottom drawer or
No.
under the desk?
Under the desk.
Along with spider webs. Get the hell out of here.
Those are for Harry.
Holy. But yeah, no, come to find out, there was, before we got here, a missed payment they put on the back end. And it redid everything. Well, what it did was lowered the mortgage. And which is fine, except it takes longer to pay off. But it lowered the mortgage. And so this month is not owed. And she also had it to where Zach was going to pay her the money and come out of her account. I don't fucking think so. It's not how this works.
Wait, say that again?
She told them that it would come out of her account. It comes out of Zach's account. It does that for a reason. The reason is if anything ever happens to her, it just continues because the house is going into Arne immediate.
Okay.
And so I think what she was thinking was maybe she'd pocket the money. That we didn't know that there was not going to be a payment this month. Wrong answer.
The things you find out.
Wrong answer. No, she ain't going to find out because we just had to switch back and said, no, just don't listen. Just don't, because this ain't going to fly.
Now, I can just about imagine it. If Chris buys that house in the next year, and I come over to visit, we're going to have a big old party.
Oh, yeah, we will. Hell, Chris buys it. We're just going to open that fence and just fence all the way around both yards and have a big old fire pit out there.
Yeah, you could probably do that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a nice driveway back there in the back for them.
Hello.
Yeah, so I'll throw water balloons at his bedroom window,
Hey, Chris, you're going to want to make sure that your bedroom is on the west side of the house.
Oh, I can walk around. Ain't no thing.
Yeah.
No thing. No, yeah, actually, they're making it really, really nice. But what I saw come out of there, I was not impressed.
Well, you never really know what conditions people live in.
Yeah, but they were so clean.
I'll match the inside.
Yeah, I mean, they were so clean. They were so nice. But they kept coming in and out because, they go back home for a stint and then their family would come and take over a stint and then they'd switch out. But, hell, if that's what makes it work, great. I'm happy for them. I'd do it if I could.
And then all of a sudden, life gets flipped upside down.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is that's what it was. Because as soon as they started picking people up here, they didn't get them. But when they started doing that here, they were gone. Which is a good thing now because, we've heard so many things about people getting picked up. So that's a good thing. I'm glad they're okay. They're safe. I know. I didn't say I'd look. I just said I'd throw something.
Wow. Um, we've been having some recent development lately. Today, 2 hours ago, actually. Um, let's see here.
I shared it on my page.
Oh,
Did you know that he was going to be in Chicago this weekend?
Steve?
Yes,
No, I did not.
he is.
Let's see here.
Yeah, it says,
Yeah, I see it now.
see you in Chicago. Nightmare Weekend, Chicago.
Oh, and they got killer clowns over there too. I think this is that convention that Nick has told me about where the clowns come out.
Okay, I didn't know anything about it. I wish Nick Phelps so he could go because that'd be fun for him.
Well, unless he gets those medicines, he's not going anywhere. Ah, Tom's home now.
I thought you were supposed to be home last Monday, dude.
Yeah, I thought you were supposed to text some of us to let us know how you did.
I did. Now he did message me.
Okay.
He did do that, but
Wait,
I also saw on Monday when he was supposed to go home that he was sending a picture from the hospital.
well, I thought it was just say Sunday or Monday.
Monday.
Oh, still have
Yeah,
time.
that'd be hard because I can't imagine moving after that. Not one muscle. No.
How long is your recovery time, Tom? So I'm going to do a screen share for this.
There we go.
Um,
Yeah, if anybody knows this person, reach out to him. Nobody needs this bullshit.
yeah. So
And she needs help. She needs help.
this here is who he's saying that is stalking him. I guess that would be the correct term.
You know what's funny is she has not stalked him. She's just telling other people this. I need to make sure she's not on my. uh,
Yeah, apparently she's been sending him some unspeakably disgusting videos and messages to him. And she is telling other people that he is her boyfriend.
oh, so she's changed her picture. Looks like on her Facebook. If this is the same one,
Well, this one here shows that she has 236 friends.
okay. This one shows $5.99, so maybe not. I don't know. Maybe she deleted her Facebook.
Well, after this, wouldn't be surprised. Oh, wait, no. No, I found her.
Ah, okay, yep. She's in
Look,
Mischievous Hamsters Help and Advice.
look it up under Sandra, not Sandy. It says Sandy on the profile, but on the web address, it's Sandra.
Uh-huh. Okay, nope, she is not on my friends list. That is good. She's got one follower. And for her to be a mystic, medium, telepathic, animal communicator, shaman, stigmatic, happy fur mom, that's not a lot of friends. She must not be in the community. 2 to 6 weeks, that's rather short.
And that's a big range too. I've seen 4 to 6 weeks, but not 2 to 6 weeks.
Oh, she's from Ransomville, New York. Okay. Maybe all the smog got to her. I don't know.
Well, let's see where Ransomville is.
Not far enough away from Steve, apparently.
It's right above Buffalo. So she's right near the Canadian border.
Eh.
So, how long do you have to be down, Tom? Is that the 2 to 6 weeks being down? Now that make it hard to go to the bathroom.
I can't imagine even turning over. I mean, I can't imagine. Do you have like hospice? Not hospice, but like
Home health care?
nurses, home health coming in? Too close to Indiana. Yeah, Chris, don't put your name out there. She might come stalk you and say she's your man or you're her man now. Ugh. That's scary. Yeah, I can imagine. There's no way. No way. I remember just after having kids, no way. I can't imagine the back. Back has every muscle in your body connected to it. Nope. Mm-mm. I'd be on, I don't know, what's morphine, I guess? The highest pain medication you can get.
Yeah, it's morphine. They give you that morphine drip.
Knock me the hell out because no. Wake me up when it's healed.
Hey, when I got hurt at work, I was in the hospital bed for 2 or 3 days straight without getting up. Period.
Yeah, and that hurts. I mean, like, as you get older, when you sleep at night, if you're in one position too long, it hurts.
Yeah,
It hurts your hip, it hurts your back. You're sore from just laying in one place.
and it's everything you got just to try to shift yourself.
Yeah. And I remember, when I worked as a CNA, seeing some of these patients with bed sores from laying on one position too long, either on their hip, their backbone, their tailbone, something. And I just can't imagine how uncomfortable they were to get that sore.
That happened to my mom. She ended up with 2 bed sores.
I can't imagine the pain you go through just laying there to get that sore.
Yeah.
That's your skin breaking down from the pressure. That's not okay.
Uh,
5 days. Yeah, I've never been, knock on wood, in a hospital bed longer than, to give birth. Even when I had that, even when I had my blood clots, I guess it was 3 a.m. when I got put in because I sent Zach home. And I was up all night, slept about 2 hours, and I was up there. No, that IV pole, it goes with you.
and there's Jan.
Yeah, Jen's seen her share of those too because she's worked that healthcare field. No, I now that I'm older and sore when I stay in one position too long, I understand it. We used to always prop them up on like a wedge pillow.
Uh-huh.
And, some of them not having their mind would fight you. But,
You didn't have the powered beds then?
oh, yeah, there was, yeah, where the head goes up or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it puts more pressure on their backside where the sores are.
Okay.
So you just kind of have to prop them on a wedge pillow to get them off that area, try to get blood flow to it. But, some would come in from homes where it was already to the bone. Like skin was gone, it was bone exposed. And at that point, what do you do besides try to doctor it, get blood flow to it, wound vac? But nursing homes don't do wound vac.
Yeah, what's really wrong with the medical field today is that one, you just don't have enough people.
Oh.
Two, these companies don't want to pay these people.
Yeah. Yeah, we see that.
Yeah. Well, not just for like medical claims and stuff like that. I'm talking about paying the actual workers.
Yeah. CNAs, CNAs need a lot more than minimum wage.
Yeah.
Because they are the eyes, the ears, and if they raise hell, they're gone. They fire them. They find a reason. They're gone. And some CNAs, when they walk in, are going to raise hell because they see where the others have become so accustomed to it. They see, they're like, this is not okay. And then that's when people like Jan were brought in as undercover, whether they were CNAs, nurses, doctors, they were undercover for the government, paying attention to what's going on. And, they might be there a year and enough to document everything, enough to have a case to shut it down. So, she would walk in as, let's say, a CNA and take orders, do what she's told, not argue, and document. And then, I remember one story she told, they were treating her like shit the whole time. And that last time she got to tell the DON, Dean of Nursing, fuck you. And as she was still mouthing, she said, here you go. And her people walked in, shut it down. That'd be hard for me to keep my mouth shut. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, especially when you know that you could be the difference between life and death.
Yeah. And many times it is. It really is. And in Jan's position, there's nothing she could do. She had to document enough, and people did die. And there was nothing that could be done in that process because she couldn't blow her cover to do it. All she could do is go, behind people and help on her own and do what she could and not get caught. So that's a hard position to be in. Oh, yeah. Okay. I forgot about that part. Yeah, that's something I couldn't do. CNA obviously was something I couldn't do. I did it in Carlsbad. I would clock out. I couldn't do it and have a family. That's all there is to it, because I would clock out after my shift and go stay with somebody who was actively dying because they had no family there with them. And even though they're actively dying, we know that they can hear. They may not see you, but they know your voice and they can hear.
Mm-hmm.
And as they're leaving, maybe they can see you and know who's there with you. So, that's things that And then there was times I would stay there with family. That's just, if you give a shit, that's what you do.
Yeah, there's not that many people nowadays that do give a shit.
Yeah, see, like what she's talking about. And that's why we promised mom and dad they would never go into a nursing home. Ever. I may have in-home nurses come in, but I'll be here to watch. And I will take care of them. They're not going to a nursing home. Now, when it gets past my ability to take care of them and they have to go to a hospital, yes, obviously they'll go to a hospital. But, no, somebody else is not going to take care of them because mom's mouthy and dad is an absolute asshole when he don't want to do something. He's just absolute asshole.
Right.
And somebody would hurt him.
You take care, Tom. He's going to go rest.
I'm glad you popped in. You just let me know how the progress is going. Chris, if you're giving a shit 2 to 3 times a day, you may want to get that checked, buddy. Right. Yeah. Nursing homes are, yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of the problem here. Well, it's always been the problem. I'm not going to say this is new. It's not. Because mom tried to be a CNA and she told me a story where her first week that she was there, of course, I don't know the exact dates because mom's memory is not there. Anyway, when she first started, there was a lawyer's mom that was there. And she walked in, and the lady was coherent as she could be. And she said, and she had NPO on the door. And of course, NPO, you think it's for a procedure. So, within 24 hours, she'll have the procedure done. She can eat. And they warned her, do not feed
that.
Nothing per oral, nothing by mouth.
Okay.
So they can't have nothing. So you think, they're getting ready to have surgery or they're getting a procedure done. It'll be fun for about 24 hours. The next day she walked in, still that's on the door. And so she asked about it, and they said, that's been on the door for a week. And she is not allowed to have any food. She's actively dying. So mom walked in to take care of her, and she said, she looked up at her and said, please, can I have something to eat? I'm starving. Well, I don't know how it worked back then, but apparently the son put her on no food to let her go. He was starving her to death, and apparently somehow that's okay. I don't know.
That's not okay.
It is not okay. But so mom went and got Jell-O and fed it to her. And she ended up getting fired over it. The lady was perfectly coherent. Told us, was able to say, I'm hungry. If you're actively dying, you don't want food. Your body just does not want it. And I know that family wants to keep giving it because that's what would make them comfortable. So they want to make them comfortable. But when your organs start shutting down, you don't want it. You don't. Your body just does not. I understand not giving somebody something at that point and using those little swabs to just swab their mouth to keep it moist. Mm-hmm. You don't put nothing down them. He killed her. He absolutely killed her, starved her to death. And mom was like, I'm done with this field. She went to work for a grocery store. No. But, I don't know if that would happen these days, but holy shit. None of my family's going in. No way in hell.
It should not have been okay. My mom was in a nursing home for a little while in between hospitals. She went from one hospital to another hospital, then to a nursing home, then into another hospital. Um, and I wasn't too thrilled with these people, but I didn't see any other choice.
Yeah.
Because she was to the point where she could not come home.
Right.
And one day I went to go visit her when I got off of work, and they had to wheel her in a wheelchair because she couldn't walk anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I go into her room. She's in her wheelchair, facing the wall, and I ask her, "Hey, how long have you been here?" And she couldn't remember how long it had been. She just said that it's been a while. When they could have just turned her around and she could have watched the TV.
Yeah. It's little things like that that new people coming in may not. I mean, if you put yourself in a situation and actually give a shit about your job, and that's a problem, they're hiring people that aren't, they burn out the ones that give a shit. So they're getting just anyone. And it, even in Carlsbad, I watched, I had to give a shower to a very combatant patient. She had Alzheimer's. Yes, she was combative, especially at night. Yeah, sundowners hits and holy shit. But they're going to hit you. Yes, they are. And you can do one of two things. You cannot physically restrain them because that can put bruises and that can hurt. And you don't know if their bones are weak, it could break them.
Yeah.
So you can back away enough.
Especially the older they get.
Right. So you can back away enough where they cannot make contact with you, or you can position your body differently and position their body differently where they're hitting away from you because they're still going to hit. It doesn't matter. They're scared of water.
What about wearing extra padding?
You can. Yeah, absolutely. There's lots of things you can do, but you cannot restrain them. You cannot hurt them. You cannot, and I was giving a shower to a lady and then a CNA walked in, big burly, big bitch. And she started grabbing her. Well, she ended up with bruises on her wrists. It was my shower, my lady. So, when you get questioned, you have two choices. Tell on the person that you know what happened, tell them the truth, and know that nothing is going to happen to that person except they're going to write that person up and tell them you told. Nothing else will happen.
How? Writing up a resident?
No, the other person that I was with. They'll write her up.
Oh, okay.
And tell her I said something. And so that's going to be a huge issue. But nothing will happen. She won't lose her job. It's going to happen again. And they're going to make your life a living hell. Or you lie. Say, I don't know. That's where morals kick in.
I don't know's happened.
Yeah. That's where morals kick in. And you either tell the truth or you allow things to keep happening. If you tell the truth, there's at least a paper trail. When something happens to that patient, you can look back on the write-ups of what happened. And that was enough for me. Nope.
Well, I remember when I was in the hospital, I had to tell somebody that I didn't want a certain person back anymore.
I remember.
Because she was shoving the pain pills into my mouth. No, not pain pills, but liquid.
Yep.
And That's not going to work with me. I may not be in very good condition, but
Yeah.
damn it, you got to be gentle.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. No.
Yeah, after
Treat them.
she did that a second time, the next nurse, I can't, I think she was a night nurse. So the day nurse comes in, whoever you just handed off from, I don't want her anymore.
Yep. Yep.
And sure enough, I never saw her again.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you have to stand up for yourself, but these people can't. That's the issue. They can't. Now, what threw me was there was one little young lady in there. She was 16 when her accident happened. She either got drunk, took pills, I don't know. But she got debilitated and she fell in her bathroom and her necklace hung her. So she had lost consciousness and air for a very long time. So that caused her to be
Brain dead.
mentally challenged. And with that mental challenge came, their muscles will contract, and their arms are like this, their legs are pulled up. After a time, that's just what happens. Um, Her family came in 2 to 3 times a day, and you never knew when they were coming in. And you would hear those nurses say, "You better make sure she is dry, clean, and taken care of before anybody else," because family was coming in. That's wrong. That's not okay. Everybody should be treated as if family was coming in at any point. But it's not that way. And that's not okay. Jan, okay, I got a scenario for you since you like sundowners. There was a lady about 6 foot tall. Of course, she was hunched over a little bit, but I'm talking this woman is big. And she got sundowners. She had it the whole time I was there. I was always able to deal with her until this night. I wasn't on her floor wing. She walked with a walker, but walked well. I came in one day and she was vomiting just a little. And you could tell, a normal person would know that the little black specks in her vomit were blood, old blood. So turned into the nurse. Okay. About a week later, she was doing her thing again. And her thing on sundowning was, "I've got to get out of here. My husband is coming to get me. He is going to be mad if I am not out there." She thought she was at work and he was coming to get her. And if she wasn't out there when she was supposed to be, she was in trouble. And it was a panic mode. It was bad. And I came in on my shift and they said she had fallen. Okay. No, she fell on my shift. She was walking the hall, getting ready to go to the front door, and she fell backwards and hit her head. They put her back in the bed, of course, called nurse, whatever. They never took her to the hospital. And apparently that hit, and she was vomiting blood after that, vomiting black, like coffee grounds. There's test strips that we would put in the vomit to determine if it was blood. And I determined it was blood. So, I took her to the nurse. She was to take it from there. She died that night.
Wow.
They knew that was blood. They knew she hit her head. She should have went in. That's my thought. She should have went in. Could they have stopped the brain bleed? I don't know. But she still should have went in. When she wasn't sundowning, she had all her senses and she was an amazing person. She had a lot of life left in her. Had that not happened. Now, how could we have prevented that? I don't know because we cannot stop them from walking. And when they panic, they try to kind of run. So
So when those patients go out for a walk, isn't there somebody supposed to be with them at all times?
not if they're walking inside. They can walk on their own inside anytime they want.
So when she fell back,
She was headed to the door
to go outside.
to go see her husband, which doors are locked. She couldn't go outside, but she was going.
Yeah, that sounds like the nursing home that Angelia was in. We had to have a code to go in, to go through each double door, and to get out of those doors. So okay,
Yeah.
and I can see it at that point, but still,
Yeah. I mean, when they knew that that was blood she was vomiting after this, because I did the test strip and verified it's blood in her vomit. You know, even somebody untrained would know that's not okay.
no.
There's an internal issue if there's blood in the vomit.
Which
Now,
you
could it
need
be
medical help.
right? It could it be an ulcer? Yes, absolutely, it could. But that needs to be determined.
Well, even it also can kill you.
Yeah, yeah. And she never got out of bed after they put her in bed. And that woman, I will never forget. I'll never forget her face. I'll never forget her walk. That's why I can't do that no more. No way.
Was that the final straw for you?
Yep, yep. That was in Carlsbad.
Well, folks, we didn't mean to be talking about all of these horror stories in hospitals and nursing homes, but sometimes these conversations lead us there.
I can tell you though, I don't know if Jan has seen it, but um, I didn't see it as a kid because when I was in the hospital with my mom as a kid, it was during the day. But the nursing homes I worked at, there was always one special place you saw it, but there was always a dark shadow that would walk into rooms before someone passed away. I don't know how or why. In the hospital, that didn't happen, or at least we didn't see it. In the hospital, it would go into the morgue area, but there's always a dark shadow. Now, is that something our mind is seeing, or is it really happening? I don't know. And nurses, like CNAs, nurses, whatever, would see it. And they'd be like, that person's going to pass. And the theory is always in threes. They pass in threes. So you start one, you know two more are going to pass.
I know I've heard stories of some places where
Okay, so Jan's seen it too. Okay.
okay, where they would have like a cat or a dog, and that animal would always sense when it's about that time for somebody to pass.
Gosh.
Um, and that was actually incorporated into a recent Stephen King movie, Doctor Sleep. Um, this nursing home had a cat, and whenever that cat decided to go into somebody's room and hang out with that person was going to die that night.
That's horrifying. And I'd like to have a pet with me if nobody else was. I think that's pretty cool.
It'd be kind of creepy though.
Hospital. Okay. So that's what I did after. This is my brain on ADHD apparently, because after the nursing home, I went to hospice, because that's one of the things I did, was stayed with people until they passed because they had nobody else. My dumb ass went to hospice. And I had, of course, I wasn't the hospice nurse. So I would come in once a day, change them, check vitals, call the nurse if needed. That was my job. It was not to sit there with them or give them medication or anything like that. And one man, I'll never forget his face or his name or his family. He had a daughter. This was in Carlsbad. I walked in. I had been with him about a week. Walked in, and she said, "I think he's going." And I went, "Oh, shit." I walk in, and I'm talking to him a little bit, and he's doing that.
The death rattle.
Shit, no, not yet. Just the weird breathing. Sometimes not breathing for a long time, then taking a breath. I'm like, shit. And I said, well, okay, I'm glad you understand that this is what's happening. I'm going to call my nurse, and I'm going to clean him up, and we're going to have fresh clothes on him, fresh diaper, all of that, and we'll see what she says. So it wasn't 5 minutes after I called her the death rattle. Of course, the death rattle, that can be a while. It doesn't happen immediate when that starts.
I actually remember hearing it. My Angelia's mother's stepfather was in hospice,
Mhm.
and she and I went to go see him, and it was like not even a week before he passed, and he was doing that death rattle thing then. Very unnerving.
It is. It is. And there's actually a hospice nurse, which in this aspect, I'm very thankful for TikTok, Facebook, all of that, because not all of us have family or friends that are willing to talk to us about things like this. And when it comes time, here we are. We have no idea, and it's in front of us. But she talks about how this does happen. Jen, you would be amazing doing that. Um, they talk about, um, please, if your family waiting there and the hospice nurse comes in, we do know what we're doing. Please don't ask us to give them food, to, suction their airway, whatever it is. We can't, because what's happening is organs are shutting down, and it's just fluid in the lungs. There's nothing we can do. This is, everything else has shut down, and we are to here now. The heart will go soon.
Mhm.
But how do you tell a family member that in a dignified way?
It's
It
not an
isn't.
easy thing to say, and it's definitely not an easy thing to hear.
No. And she was talking about, she's had family threaten to hurt her for not giving them water, to swallow whatever's in their throat to stop the death rattle. She said, they're not going to swallow. They cannot physically swallow. Their body is done. This is the natural state. This is what happens. And, different aspects she talks about, them reaching up for their family and saying, look, I see so and so, or
My
my
grandma
wife
did
is here.
My
And
grandma did that. She said that she saw my grandfather, his face in the ceiling.
yep. And that's comforting to them, that somebody is waiting for them. So they're reaching for them, saying, I'm ready, come on.
Mhm.
And that helps the living know that they have somebody to meet them, to take them the rest of the way. So, but some families are just not open to that. They're like, you need to snap them out of this. What?
It's very hard to accept the fact that, you're losing this person.
And that's true, but like Jan and I have talked about before, it's for selfish reasons.
It is.
And we can't help but to be selfish at some points because we want the
human nature to be selfish.
It is. Unfortunately, it really is.
Yeah, it's just human nature. It's not that. It's not that it's our fault that we're selfish. It's just a way that we are.
Yeah, it really is. Mom tells a story about her father, where the bathroom is now used to be, or the extra kitchen area there used to be a bedroom. And that little closet was his bathroom. And he got up one day from there, and after being not incoherent, but not normal, he stood up and he looked at Mom and he said, I want to dance. And she's like, okay, Dad. I said, what? She thought he was his wife who had passed years ago.
Mm.
And he tried to, well, he not tried. She did. She danced with him. But that was one of her last memories, was getting to dance with him, even though he thought it benefited both parties because she got to do something with him. He thought that was his wife. And he passed not long after. I never knew the man, but
Did she have a resemblance to her mother?
no, not at all.
No.
Not at all. Her mama was a very big lady and a very gruff lady. She's far from that. So I don't know, but it's maybe her mom came through her for him for a minute. I don't know.
Well, that's not unheard of.
No. And of course she does remember it, and it benefited both of them. Now,
As long as it that,
yeah. Yeah, she was just helping him in the bathroom. All the sisters would come and take turns staying with him. She was just helping him in the bathroom, and he's like, I want to dance. And all of a sudden, he was up and dancing. Of course, that didn't last long. We know that last hoorah before they go. And it's like, wow.
nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all. No. So, it's how you handle it, I guess. I can 100% guarantee when it comes time for Mom and Dad, if it doesn't happen quickly, when it comes time toward the end, I will call for Jan to be here because
Well, she'll be there in a heartbeat. I know.
she would. Absolutely. There's no doubt. Oh, there's been times even when Mom got taken to the hospital, do you want me there? Yeah, there's no doubt. Absolutely not. But I'm not one to say the right things or do the right things. She is. That's where she's my other half, because that's when I shut up and let her do the talking. And it's like, okay, you talk because nope. My intentions might be good, but what my mouth says is not. So we just,
That's some people just do not have that oratory gift.
nope, absolutely not. So that's when she will do the talking, because if I talk, it's going to come out completely different. Because my thing is trying to fix it. I want to try to fix it. I can't fix it. I know I can't fix it. but I want to fix it.
That's the problem with us people as well, that we want to fix it and we think we can fix it.
Yeah.
And that's where it becomes its most dangerous, because we think we can do this, but we're really hurting it.
Yeah. And when you say things, it sticks with people. And so I've learned to, through her, learn to shut up and just
which,
not say it.
which is not an easy thing to do.
No, it is absolutely not. But I shut up. And so it might sound bad even shutting up because I don't have anything to say. Because if I say it, it's going to be wrong. Because when I dealt with death, when my mom died at 8 years old, I dealt with it. I guess my dad taught me how to deal with it, which is ignore it. Just ignore it. It didn't happen. So that's how I deal with things. Ignore it. And it doesn't happen.
Shut up, be two gummies.
Yeah, yeah. And that's exactly what will happen. Yeah.
When my mom died, um, I was living in the trailer court, and I was living at the front of near the front of the trailer court, and I walked all the way to the back, which was, I want to say maybe about half a mile. It was a large trailer court, and that was where my mom's two best friends lived,
Mhm.
their sisters. And they each had their own trailer right across the street from each other, like how Dad and I are. So I went over to them because Dad was at the hospital. He was with Mom, and so I went over to tell them. And next thing I know, I'm with them for 3 hours, and we're just talking.
Yeah.
And that was what I needed to deal with it.
Yep.
Um, I don't remember what I did with my grandma, my dad's mom, but I do know that I was working. Um, I was the only one in the factory. They were closed. They were shut down for production, and I was working afterwards um, to empty out dust collectors in
Mm-hmm.
the woodworking factory. And Mom came over to let me know about Grandma. And when I saw her, I already knew because we were expecting her to go anyway. And let's see, I think it was a Friday. Um, and so, well, I got to finish this job here. So, which what wasn't much. Within the hour, I was home. Um, Emptying out their dust collectors took 2 hours, maybe three at the most, depending on how bad it was. But after that, I don't really remember what I did.
Yeah.
Um, it was summertime. I had just graduated from high school. Now, still young,
Mm-hmm.
and hadn't really been exposed to death. I had lost a brother 9 years before, but at that age, you don't
Yeah.
really lost.
You really don't. No. No.
Um,
And that's me. Didn't I don't remember much about it. Except the nurses letting me in to go see her. I don't remember.
yeah, but I was 19 when Grandma died, but I don't remember what I did after I got done with work. I just remember I was there at work. Mom came to let me know. She left. I finished my job, and then how the rest of that day, I could not tell you.
What is going on? Zach sent me I'm going to send this to you. I don't know what channel this is on, but That's what he's seeing. Oh, yeah, I do see it. It's on things.
Really?
It shows the red mark at the top with an exclamation point.
Really?
I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's going on there.
That's the video.
Okay. I don't know what's going on there.
That's the video. Yeah, so I wonder. Let's see. Okay, that's on my computer.
Baby girl, go. Go lay down. You're fine. It's raining. You're not going anywhere. Go. Get out of my face. Go.
No, on my phone, I'm showing us live on things.
That is so strange. Look at the top. Do you see that exclamation mark?
Oh, that's from a different page that we're on.
Okay.
Yeah, that is not the things page.
Okay.
Um,
All right. Yeah, I don't know where you saw that from.
it shows we still have some viewers.
Yeah, we got 4, but I'm not. I'm not sure exactly what happened there.
Hold on, let me check. Okay, yeah, we got viewers on the Things Network page, so I don't know what the deal is.
Who knows? With the system issues we had when we first started.
Okay, there's Jan. Okay, so
Okay, yeah, we lost signal for a minute, so something's going on. Of course it is.
let me check the weather. We did have a storm blow through first thing this morning.
Yeah.
Um, and okay, we did have something go through a while ago.
We had some rain earlier, but nothing big. Okay, Jan sent a screenshot. All right. I'm going to find out what page he's on.
Yeah, because we're on three. No, we're on two different um, Facebook pages.
Yeah.
Because we're on Things and we're also on Things of Illinois. And according to this, we are expecting some rain over the next 5 days. Yay. In my yards, yeah, but it's all not some 40, couple 50 percenters. Otherwise, it's mostly 20%, 30%. Zach, what page were you watching on?
What's that?
What page were you watching on Things Network or Things of Illinois?
You know what, man? I just told Adrian. I didn't send any message.
You didn't?
No, I never sent a message. I don't know. I don't know who it was, but yeah, I just told Adrian I didn't send any message.
All right, hold on. Let me.
It must have come from Jan then.
No, I don't think so.
Well, because she said that she sent you a screenshot.
Okay, yeah, she did. I thought he did too. Yeah, guess not. Okay.
Phew, thank God, I thought I was going insane.
I opened one and looked at the other. Apparently, I don't know.
I
No.
thought you were already insane, Zach.
Oh, he very much is. Very much. Especially when he staples things, backwards.
It looks like we're back, and it looks like we basically lost all of our viewers except for Jan after that.
Huh? Who is that?
It's these spam bots from Twitch.
Oh. I do not deal with Twitch.
Yeah, we stream to Twitch, and it seems like every show we get that one message. That's why whenever we get a message like that, don't even acknowledge it.
That one. I haven't seen him back no more.
The one that was send me a link.
Oh, yeah, but some of the things he said.
Oh yeah, well that's what some of those people are. Those are the YouTubers. Like they go on to these random lives and hey, send me a link, send me a link. Nope, not going to happen.
What link? You're flipping on it.
Yeah, well, last week we had somebody say, send me a link. I just went right there and banned them.
Yeah. Yeah. What link are they wanting? I mean, shit.
To get on the show.
No. Yeah.
That's not going to happen. Just because you say send me a link, that doesn't mean I'm going to send you a link.
Well, I'll send a link, but it won't be something they want.
Send a link to the dirtiest, nastiest thing you can find.
Oh, yeah.
A friend of mine that I was bowling with many, many, many years ago. He was bowling with a team for a tournament, and he was telling me this story that he wanted to get some playing cards for this tournament. So he went to this adult store and told the person behind the counter, "Give me the nastiest, dirtiest deck of cards you can get me." That's what he said. Didn't open up the deck until they got to the tournament, which was mistake number one. It turned out to be an all gay porn deck of cards.
Oh, my.
Needless to say, he never made that mistake again.
Well, that's what he asked for.
It is, but how do you not open up the deck of cards before getting to the thing?
I don't know, but...
And there should have been something on the box to let you know what it was.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, no, that's something they won't forget.
No, I never forgot that story, but I did forget who it was, though.
The story was memorable, not the person.
Huh?
The story was memorable, not the person.
That's true, but I think I do know somebody that knows that story, so I'll have to ask them. So, all
That's
right.
back when Rotten.com was in.
Rotten.com?
Yeah. That's what we used to send links to. Rotten.com was the very first, next to Faces of Death that was like really bad. It would, I don't think it still exists, but they were the first ones to show death pictures in their raw form. Nothing covered up, no, nothing.
I'm looking it up on Wikipedia.
Yeah, it was like
Rotten.com, active
mhm.
from 1996 to 2012, known for hosting gruesome and bloody images and videos of blood and gore, death, decomposition, and graphic violence. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Pain Olympics. I've never heard of that.
Ugh.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't think rotten.com is even something you can look up anymore.
Well, it said it was this site. Um, let's see, legal disputes.
They were like one of the first ones to show the aftermath of bombing somebody that got hit by a train, like the raw footage.
Oh. Let's see. In mid 2002, Rotten.com launched NNDB, an online database. It was a steadily
Oh my
updated website that contained information about thousands of notable people. This operation ceased in 2016, and the celebrity deaths section last updated December 21st, 2021. The website itself is still live.
Oh, really? Wow.
Let's see. Current status online, but no longer updated.
Wow.
At that point, if it's no longer updated, why even pay to keep it up?
Maybe people still like me talk about it.
I never even heard of Rotten.com until you told me.
It was something way back when.
Yeah.
Because things like that were not put on TV, and the internet was not, out there, which now, of course, they cover it up and say, choose if you want to see it. But
yeah, some people enjoy looking at bloody, disgusting things. I am not one of them.
Well,
I barely even like seeing stuff like that on movies, like the Saw movies. I'm not a fan of those.
Those are so almost faked that you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But when you see things like right now, we're watching Hell on Wheels, and some of the things they show, I'm like, no. And it's so graphic, like sticking after you get a gunshot, sticking the gun in it, moving it around. And there was one guy that they just continued to beat his privates with things. And I have a hard time with that.
Yeah. Not a fan.
Yeah, cutting people's ears off.
Jan found this stuff educational.
It really is, because where else are you going to see phases of decomp? You wouldn't know unless you ran into it, and then you're going to have a heart attack looking at it because you don't know what you're looking at.
See it.
But unfortunately, in our world, we're probably going to run into it at some point.
Yeah, that is true. And I have seen certain things myself. Hell, I seen a picture of me before that first surgery.
That would definitely be scary.
It was traumatic.
Yeah.
Because I was going through my chart portal thing to Parkview,
Mm-hmm.
and I was going through a lot of the older messages because I was looking for a specific name,
Mm-hmm.
so that I could put that person's name in my book, recognized her for the good that she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Never found it, but I found the picture of what I looked like before going into that first surgery.
That is traumatic. Yeah.
It was traumatic. It made me jump. I quickly got off of it, but holy shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I looked dead in that picture.
Well, and that explains why your coworkers reacted the way they did.
Yeah. Well, I was up and walking around when that happened.
Mm-hmm.
This was after they had me laying down on the gurney,
Yeah.
and they kept me down on that gurney, which
Now you know why?
well, okay, why?
Did you look at that picture? That's why.
Yeah, well, Dad told me that somebody in the ambulance was telling him that I was on my feet in the emergency room.
I don't doubt that.
That wouldn't have happened. That shouldn't have happened. I know I was on my feet at work when it happened,
Adrenaline.
but once I got on the gurney and they wheeled me into the ambulance and took me to the hospital, I don't recall ever getting up from there. I just remember waiting and waiting and waiting. Yeah, we got to go through the insurance and waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally going into the, I think it was the MRI. Oh, speaking of the MRI, I saw a video where somebody showed what the MRI looks like, took the casing off, and the whole thing is just going in circles at mad speed.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, holy cow! I never realized that MRIs work like that before. 'Cause it's those magnets, and it's
Mm-hmm.
going round and round in that thing, and that's what you're hearing.
Magnetic resonating image resonance imaging.
Uh, I think so.
Yeah, Jan. No.
Yeah, magnetic resonance imaging. So
No, ma'am.
yeah, I couldn't watch that either.
No. And and that's the thing. Some of the things that they showed on Rotten, they weren't like one of the images was
No, Jan, I will not.
um one of them was a guy that had elephantitis in his testicles, and he would wheel them around with a wheelbarrow. Now, how would we know what that is, really, without seeing? And how would we know what he went through without seeing the image? It was very educational. It really was. It wasn't so much about, I don't
At
know, I guess,
that point, wouldn't it be better to just cut that off?
mm, yeah, yeah.
Because men can live without testicles,
Oh,
right?
yeah, yeah. Dogs do.
That well, they snip them. They don't actually cut them off.
No, they cut them out, and all that's left is the skin.
For dogs?
Yes. Yeah, they cut the actual testicles completely out.
Oh, I thought they did to them like what they do with men when they have vasectomies.
Nah, no. There is nothing round or hard left about it. It's just skin. That's all that's left. Well, the reason I know this, not grew up, later when I was grown up, I lived on a farm. You slit it, you grab the actual testicles, you cut it, you sew it back up. That's all you got. Is that skin.
Okay.
My ex-husband, it was hilarious because he used to do that to pigs. He used to castrate pigs. When he went to go get his vasectomy done, when they started giving him the medication, which they don't put you out, but they give you something to calm you down.
Jan is sending me videos.
He saw the actual, like the doctor's face being a pig and laughing. Because he knew what he'd done to those fucking pigs. They're not bulls. Bulls, they slice it, pull it, even calves. That reminds me, I want to go to the calf fry.
Oh, okay, I see what Jan's saying. It is like a literal smart house. It's like everything is made out of glass. It's like a futuristic house. Okay, I see what Jan's talking about now. Just that when she talked about, oh, okay, I missed the maid part. See, I read House of Glass, and this is after we had just gotten done talking about
Rotten.
Cobb. I did not see House Made of Glass. Hi, Denise. Okay. So this is like a futuristic house, which no doubtedly is in our future.
Our future is actually pretty scary.
It's been scary for a very long time.
The things they come up with so temporary. Used to, you bought a watch, it lasted decades. You're lucky to get one last 5 years now.
Isn't that the truth? They make things now. Let's take bowling balls, for
You
example.
never touched a pig, Chris. We're going to have to fix that.
Take bowling balls, for example. The ones that were made back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s are still able to be used today. Bowling balls made in the last 20 years, you're lucky if they don't crack on you after 5 years.
Zach has a. There we go. Zach has a.
Why do I believe you, Jan?
Oh, no, that is a real thing. That's actually a thing.
No, I'm talking about her doing it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She grew up in the country. That's actually a rodeo thing. Grease pigs. Oh, no. And if you're going to butcher those things, you're going to wrestle them.
I'll tie them. Yeah, I've seen those. I'm just saying I am not surprised Jan did it.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
And Denise, I definitely believe you. Especially after all that. Well, she just came home with a whole bunch of pets a couple weeks ago.
Poor Ernie. It started with hairless.
She wanted a goat.
What was it? Hairless hamsters? Was it hamsters?
I don't remember what it was that she got. I'll have
But
to.
Ernie fell in love with it after that.
Okay. Guinea pigs? Is that what it was? Yeah.
Guinea pigs. Okay. And Ernie fell in love with it after that. He was the one holding them.
I know, but it still didn't stop him from making that video Denise went to go get this, this, and this, and this is what she came home.
Hell yeah, that's like one of the biggest things. I went to go get milk and cookies. Meet milk and cookies.
Here they are.
No, well, they're actually four-legged, but yeah.
Apparently, Ernie is still in denial.
Jan, that's funny. My daughter did too, because we had to tell her from the very beginning they were getting butchered, so she couldn't name them something sweet and cuddly.
Yeah, that would be kind of hard, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, but as a farm kid, you have to teach them animals die. They die for food, to be our food. Dogs, when something happens, we didn't take them to the vet to get euthanized like you can now. You had to take care of it yourself. And so on a farm, you learn life and death.
Look at what Denise just said.
Oh my gosh.
That would be pretty funny.
Oh, it kind of.
I can see Ernie now running around the house trying to catch chickens.
Zach would run. He hates birds.
It seems like he hates everything but spiders.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it?
It's just plain weird.
No, he's all for getting chickens this year, which we're not doing this year.
Actually, didn't you say something about getting a chicken?
Yeah, but we need to seriously think out this enclosure, because they can't be in the sun all day. They have to have heat in spring and winter and fall when it starts freezing. We're going to have heat lamps. We're going to have all of that.
My sister, well, it's been a while, but she had gotten a new place on the other side of town. She actually had like a chicken coop thing in the backyard. It had the lattice work fence around it,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and it was like a multi-layered chicken thing.
Yeah. Well, when we raised them in New Mexico,
Not a whole lot of room either.
no. When we raised them in New Mexico, I realized how much actually goes into it. And, when they get sick, and they do, there's so much you have to do, and you have to keep them certain temperature, this and that. It's a little more than what he thinks it is. It's going to wait another year. That's what's going to happen.
And plus, chickens do tend to get messy.
Well, and they can be messy outside all they want to.
Yeah.
Right? They're not going to be running free. We have our neighbors' chickens come over once in a while. Like the first year I was here, one of them got out and came over here, and I had it in the house in my arms when he came home.
When I first moved here in this house, which was 10 years ago, there was a house just down the road that actually had a pet pig. I see it.
Was it like a smaller one? Potbelly?
No, I want to say it would have come at least past my knees.
Oh. If that's a potbelly, it's pretty big.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I had stood next to it, it would have gone higher than my knees.
Oh, Denise, I actually did that to the white dog. It was hilarious.
Oh no! Did put angry eyebrows on the dog?
Nope, they weren't angry. They were just normal.
Yeah, Denise, do that. Angry eyebrows And it, you you talking about Red? That poor sweet dog. I'm telling you, Red is probably the sweetest dog I've ever met. He took to me the moment I walked into their house. And I'm not used to that. I'm used to dogs like yours barking at me and not even letting me in the front door or back door in this
Well,
case.
I tell you what, Ghost.
Oh, she did do it last week.
um, Today there was some girls, a couple of girls, couple of boys, teenagers. They come walking over and we went outside today and said, "We just come to ask you if we could pet your dogs."
You don't want to.
I said, "Well, this one's nice." Pointed at Rose, and she stuck her hand in the fence. Ghost bit her hand. He has never done that. He bit her hand. Not hard. It didn't break skin, nothing like that. But we let Rose outside the fence to go play with the teenagers. She had a ball. But we found out Ghost can be dangerous to people we don't introduce him to.
No, Ghost wasn't going to let me in the house.
Ghost used to be nothing but bark. And he still is if he's introduced to people. But I think those kids have been teasing him at the fence. So when somebody sticks their hands in the fence, he's going to bite them.
Mm.
Yeah, we just let Rose out there. We stood out there with her, of course. But we were like, yeah, here, this one you can pet. She jumped up on everybody. And of course, she gets rough. She'll start to play with them and jumps up on them and scared the little girl that he just bit. And the boy was like, come here, come here. And she stood there and played with them, licked their hand. Then we had to make her come in. And Ghost, as soon as she came in, Ghost got her neck. Like, why'd you get out? Well, when you're nice, that's what happens. Rose, what are you doing? No. Get out of the trash. You don't get bones. Come on. Come on. Come here. Come on. Get up here. No, you're not biting. No, ma'am. Yeah. Want a bone? Here. Come on. Come on. Come on. I know you're not supposed to get up. You hear your brother? You hear him? You don't want to go out there? All right. Here you go.
Well, Adrian, it is 10 o'clock.
No, it's 8 o'clock.
Well, meaning it's the end of the show for us.
No, Jen, she has no teeth. But I'm going to tell you what, she can bite a bone better than anybody. She doesn't actually get bones, she gets gristle. But
Rose has no teeth?
she has worn them down from chewing sticks and rocks and things she should not be chewing. And if you play with her with like those string toys, those pull toys, her teeth will bleed within the first minute.
Denise, can I share this?
Her teeth are jagged and they hurt when she bites. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Get up here. What is wrong with you? I know, you're not supposed to.
All right.
Come here. You're fine.
Let's see here. Come on.
Let me see your teeth. Yeah, you've got your fangs is about it. You got half of those.
Okay. Get this. Ah!
One more? Okay, you've been good, girl. One more. Better not tell the rest of them.
Okay, so Denise has very kindly showed this to me. Let's see.
Oh,
This is red. Look at the eyebrows.
why does he look so? I don't know. I can't tell if it's scared or a screw you look.
It's like, Mama, what the hell did you do?
What kind of dog is that?
I forget what breed Red is, but um, he was used as a target dog.
In fighting?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got a bunch of a few bare spots on his body. But he was basically used as target and bait for the actual fighting dogs.
That is, oh, that's awful.
Yeah, and when they told me about that about him, and I'm thinking this dog
The
doesn't
old
have
Rhodesian
bone in
Ridgeback.
his
Oh,
body because he comes up to me, he loved up on me. He does that to everybody, and he he begs you for a treat almost.
the
Uh,
baby is not a fighter. He's a lover.
yeah, he is. He is. So it like he um when I was there for the few days that I was, he came up to me while I was still sleeping in bed, and he would nudge for me to follow him, and
Oh,
he wanted outside. He wanted outside, does this business, come back in, and then he'd be waiting there at the door. He wants a treat.
oh,
So, but yeah,
yeah. He's. I just putting yourself in that situation. How could you put an animal? I don't know. To me, animals are not a step down from humans. They are probably a step up from humans. How could you put
well,
someone out there?
especially dogs because dogs are more loyal to humans than humans are loyal to humans.
Oh, of course. But how could you put something out there to get hurt? Knowing you put it out there to get hurt. Now, if nature takes its toll, there's not a lot you can do. But you putting it there to get hurt, I just, I don't know. I cannot imagine. I
Well,
really can't.
that just puts that person into the level of a human piece of shit.
That's worse than an animal. I mean, animals don't put another one out there unless it's for survival, for their own survival, or their survival of their young. I mean, they're not malicious. How did we get this way? How I don't know. I don't know.
Again, it's human nature, and in some ways, we are kind of regressing back to how humans used to be,
Yeah.
while at the same time, there are others of us that are kind of going in a different direction that we should not be, where people
Yeah.
are sensitive to every single thing.
Entitlement is what we've become now.
Entitlement, yes.
But like these animals, their instincts really have not changed. They're going to protect you if they have to
Hmm.
because we are their pack as far as dogs. Cats are their own thing, but If someone were to come at you, they have personalities. Their fight or flight is going to kick in. And if
Well, you got the dogs that will fight.
I don't think baby girl would, she'd run. She would save herself because that's her. She's been abused.
Okay, yeah, I can see that, but she does bite.
She'll only fight if you corner her. That's the only time. Ghost, I'm not sure if there was actually danger. I think he might just and take off. Rose would be the one to actually attack, and she's the nicest one of all. But I think if somebody was hurting someone, she might do some damage. I don't know. I've never put her in that situation, never intend to, but or any of them for that matter. But it's funny how most of us humans, most of us, can watch a person getting killed on TV, but cannot watch an animal get killed on TV.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I don't know. Is there something wrong with us, or what is in our genetic makeup or our minds that make us that way? I don't know.
It may have something to do with that animals, in a way, are, depending on which ones, would be less self-defensive than we are.
Maybe I don't know, because yeah, I mean they are
For us,
defensive.
we have more than one way of being able to fight somebody off.
Yeah,
For a dog, all they can really do is bite you and grab at you.
yeah,
Us, we can bite you, we can punch you, we can kick you, we can headbutt you.
yeah. Denise, I get that. The big white dog. I'm the one that picked him up. Stupid ass. I went to go get a little lap dog, and they asked if we wanted to see this dog because he wasn't adopted at the fair they had. I said, sure. They bring in this big old thing, comes lumbering in. I'm sitting on the floor waiting for a dog, and he comes lumbering in and jumps on me. I'm like, okay, we're taking him home. That's it. This little fucker. Now I go, if I walk towards Zach, he jumps on Zach and he'll look at me. He'll never try to bite me or anything like that, but he covers him like you can't touch him. Dude, you're the reason I'm here. I'm the reason you're here. You need to shut the hell up and go on.
Now, I have never heard Red growl before. So, unless it's a low enough growl that I didn't hear it.
They pick their humans. They really do. I mean, like Rose, she sits up with me all day. She'll follow me everywhere I go. But come nighttime, when we come down here, she'll jump in Zach's lap. But if I go to take off, she's with me. So, I mean, she loves everybody and wants everybody's attention, but she has already picked where she's going to stay.
The last dog that I had, his name was Jay, long-haired dachshund, and he picked me. The first time, let's see, Mom and I went to go pick him up. First time he saw us, he literally ran. I think we were in this person's garage. She was getting rid of him for whatever reason. He was just a tiny thing. He ran and jumped right into my arms, and Mom was like, "Yep, we're taking him home."
Oh,
Um,
Ghost, stop it.
for the however many years we had him,
Come on.
a good portion of that I was working night shift, so I was sleeping during the day, and he would be there to protect my room.
Oh yeah.
Playing with his toy, his bone, whatever he had at that time. The back half of his body would be on my carpet, and the front half of his body would be on the carpet in the hallway.
They are really strange animals, and that's something I didn't realize for a very long time is not everybody can read animals' expressions. They're like, they don't have expressions. Well, they certainly do. They absolutely do. This one is just dumb, but he just goes, doo, doo. You're a dummy, huh? Yeah, you're not that dumb. You're looking for my plate. No, sir. He's just so big that his dumbness is.
He doesn't realize how big he is.
No, it gets people hurt.
Yeah, I remember Zach and I be sitting on that couch, and here he comes jumping. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how many times that goes, you're on my fucking balls, get off.
I believe it.
The Rose is the same way. That's her favorite place to step. And for as little as she is so damn heavy when she steps on you. It's like 100-pound dog stepping on you. No.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to call it a night.
Sounds like a good idea. 19 years. Wow.
That's a good long life for a dog.
And that was a tip for delivering pizza. Oh my gosh. Go berry. What is that? Doberman something? I've never heard of that.
Oh, it's a mixed breed, a cross between a golden retriever and a Siberian husky.
Okay.
Here's
That's interesting. They're both smart.
here's a picture of it.
That's a pretty dog. That is very pretty. What are you doing under me? Get out. This one, don't ever cross a lab with a Dalmatian. Labs are brilliant dogs. Apparently Dalmatians are not, because this one is just dumber than hell.
Well, don't tell that to the 101 Dalmatians.
This one, I don't. He's missing brain cells. I swear. Go. No.
All right, what do you say we call it a night?
All right, sounds good.
Okay, well, next week maybe we'll have everybody here. Eileen couldn't be here because it's the first of the month, and she had a move-in at the apartment complex today, and she said if she didn't do that, something about a lot of money.
Yeah.
That the owners wouldn't appreciate that very well. Well,
I imagine not. No.
Yeah.
Work is definitely important.
It is, especially when you start running up into the seven figures. You kind of have to pay attention to that.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, Nick with his allergies flaring up now that it's trying to stay permanently warm. Although we did have a couple cold days here the last couple of days, but
yeah, he'll be good next week.
Well, you hope.
Yeah, he'll be good. Next week, what is next week? No.
Next week will be the 8th.
Okay. So it's
the following.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to going on the show. I'm not looking forward to that day. That just means another damn year older.
Yeah, and I got a bunch of things going on next week. I'm supposed to be a guest on Greg's show Monday.
Okay.
Then Dad has an appointment Tuesday, Angelia has an appointment Thursday, and I have my appointment Friday. I'm sure you can see a little darker spot right here on my nose. I got like 3 stitches put in yesterday.
Yours is the 10th? Awesome. Mine's the 11th.
Ah. Then if you two do become neighbors, you have a big ass birthday party.
Whole week. Let's just do it.
Yeah. All right, folks. So thank you for playing along with us tonight, especially those that came back after we had that little connection issue. Whatever that was, I don't know.
Who knows?
Because nothing happened on our end.
Mm-mm.
So I guess we will see everybody next week. Be safe out there. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you all later.
Good night, y'all.
Have a good night.